Hello my chicken nuggets and welcome to Girly Talk. What would you guys do if this whole video I spoke with an American accent? Hi. So guys, it's Girly Talk 2.0. Oh, 2.0. I think the first one I filmed of this I actually had COVID. Oh, what a bleak time in my life. But we're back. Yay! We're doing all things girls. That doesn't mean boys are not welcome. Of course boys are welcome. When did I ever leave you boys out? No. No. But we are going to be talking all things relationships, friendships. What else is there in there? I don't know, just your usual girly talk. Excuse me, I do actually look really rough, which is interesting because I'm not rough. I'm having a fresh Sunday. I was out on Friday night though, but see, to be fair, this is me in my natural habitat. This is as raw and as honest as you can get. Megano. I'm wearing joggies, a top and my new slippers. Oh my god. So Joanna Trainer very kindly sent me these, like, not sent me them, that would be extremely kind. She sent me a screenshot of the money, so I was like, oh my god, you need these, and I was like, you are shitting me. I do need them. And it was thankfully payday when she sent me them, so I was like, here we go, skirt. I got them and I just love them so much. Like, they're like little Grinch toes. Love. My mum and Callum were like, you did not spend £100 on them, and I'm like, no, I did not actually, because the ASOS had 20% off, so I got them for £80. Joanna, love her. She's one of those girls who I don't know, I've never met her, but I feel like I know her. She has a podcast with two other girls called Hush Hush. You should listen to it, it's actually really good. And we just like talk on DM sometimes, and I think, love you. Look how pale I am as well. No wait, I fail to believe I'm that pale. Yeah, the fake tan routine is starting again tonight. I'm putting fake tan on because this is not look. Anyway, the sun is shining. I've got my water. The football's on. So Callum's downstairs with my dad watching that. Hell yeah. Great DM. So, girly talk. I am no angel. I like it when you talk that stuff to me. I put down in my notes a mix of questions for me, and then advice, dilemmas, and just before we get into it, we are not professionals, we're just getting through live. That's me being Sophia and Chinsia. I'm the world's worst at accents. What actually is my talent? I don't have any. It's upsetting. We were in the car and Callum was like, would love people to play the piano. I was like, Dominic can play the piano. Dominic can also bake. Dominic can also DJ. Anyway, so some questions for me, some advice, some dilemmas. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, and also what my point was there, you know, Sophia and Chinsia on their podcast say like, we're not doctors, we are not professionals, we don't actually know what we're talking about. That's me. So, questions for me, bish bash bosh. Did you get with anyone on your break with Callum? No. It wasn't a break because I was thinking I want to be with someone else. It was a break because I was thinking we are not making each other happy right now. So no, I absolutely did not. That was not on my agenda whatsoever. How to make friends with boys without them or your boyfriend taking it as a flirty way? Well, you have come to the right person. I would honestly say I have a lot of like boy pals. Like I have boys who I could text or message, DM, and there's nothing to it apart from us just being friends. I even have a friend who I worked with in BT, and we've just stayed like so close, and I've not worked there in donkeys, and like we actually meet up, like we'll see each other. And so, to some people they might think, oh, that's weird, you've got a boyfriend, but it's not, because we're just really good friends. Like I don't send them text messages that would suggest anything else. So my advice on that one is just talk to them how you would talk to like one of your girl pals. Like there's no reason for it to be any different. Just because their anatomy is different doesn't mean you should have to treat it differently. So yeah, I mean the only difference I'd say is I would go and share a cubicle with some of my girlfriends, like in the toilet, but I wouldn't do that with my boy pals because that is just kind of inappropriate. Are you on any contraception? Yes, I'm on the pill. I've been on the pill since I was like 16. Currently the pill I'm on is called Sorel, but I don't like being like, oh you should all be on that, because everyone's different, everybody's different, we all have different needs, we all react differently to things. So just because it works for me, it might not work for you, but I love it. It's a mini pill, so you take it all the time, like you never stop taking it and you never get periods. And people are like, oh, that's scary, like how do you know you're not pregnant? And I'm like, well, that's a good point, but I just really don't think I'm pregnant. And sometimes I will do tests like every few months. Like say sometimes I just wake up and convince myself the way that, you know, this really bad story, and I don't want to go into too much detail because I'm still nervous about it, but I have a black toenail, like it's grown in black, and I googled it, and let's just tell me Google basically told me I had a couple of weeks to live, and I was up to Hydo, I was in Manchester. I actually even had Molly convinced that she had the same thing that I thought I had, which was crazy. But it turns out my doctor thinks it's a bruised toenail, but I'm looking for more of a definite answer. I'd rather her say no, that is bruised, don't you worry. So I've not got it painted right now. Like normally I'd always have gel on my toes, but I feel like I need to keep an eye on it. But it's also really ugly, like can't wear heels. So anyway, sometimes I convince myself that I have everything wrong with me, and I also convince myself I'm pregnant a lot. So I do just do the odd test just to be safe, but this works for me because I've always had awful periods. Like I cannot function when I'm on my period. Like they're really heavy, the cramp is so bad, my back's so sore. Oh, it's just an absolute write-off, and mine's last ages. You know, people's last like 2-3 days. I'm like 5-6 days. Mother Nature is not kind to me. So I love not having periods. I've not had one in like 8 months, and it's brilliant. I feel like a man. How do you stay so happy, positive and energetic all the time? The answer is I don't. I have bad days just like everyone else. I have days where I struggle to lift my head off the pillow. I think, oh, I just want to lie and cry. I do get those days just like everyone else, and the only reason it looks like I don't is because I don't show it, because I don't really think that's what people follow me for. Like I don't want to be moping around. I'd rather create like a happy, fun space. And some people say like I cheered them up, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so nice. But so now I would certainly wouldn't like tell people I'm having a terrible time, although there's nothing wrong with being honest. Like I'm telling you that right now. But yeah, I only look like I'm happy, energetic and positive all the time is because that's what I choose to share. But I of course do have my bad days as well. I'd say I'm definitely more happy than I am sad, but those days do happen. I'm a human being. It happens to us all. How do you deal with bloating with your IBS? So I used to bloat so bad all the time. Like I used to always put up pictures on it on Instagram because I thought it was so funny. Like you genuinely would think I was 9 months pregnant. But I'd say this like past maybe 6 months or so, I've actually not been getting bloated. Like I can't really think of times where I've been badly bloated. Something I'm really struggling with my IBS right now is diarrhea. Happens all the time. Like I go to the toilet so many times a day, and some people are like, oh, that is so lucky, like you're gonna be so skinny queen. It is not lucky, it is awful, it's painful, it's embarrassing. Sometimes it stops me from being able to go places. Like I once had to get my extensions refitted, and I physically could not make it to the appointment because I did not trust I could sit in my car for half an hour. I feel like I don't really get bloated anymore, but if you do, I would say take peppermint oil capsules in Holland and Barrett. I'll link them down below. They're good for helping bloating, and peppermint tea is good for helping bloating. And the really annoying one is just avoid foods that make you bloat. Like if I went and ate like a foot long from Subway, I would bloat because I really can't handle bloating. But yeah, just try and avoid, or just sometimes accept it. See, if you're having a night in on a Saturday, who cares if you're bloated? No one's going to see you. When you shave, how do you get it to be smooth and last? Getting it to last, I don't really think there is a way to make it last. I think your hair just grows in at the rate it grows in, which for me is really annoying. Like I'd say like my leg hair or the other region of hair grows in quite fast, and I'm like, can my head please do the same thing? Can we have the rate of growth up here as we do down here? That would be good. But getting it smooth, just always have like a relatively new razor. Like I have reusable razors, like I use them time and time again, but if it starts to go like blunt, or I think I've had that a questionable amount of time, get yourself a new one, get yourself a new razor head. I always steal my dad and brother's shaving gel. I feel like men's ones are much better than women's for some bizarre reason. So I use shaving gel, and when I come out, if I've shaved this area, you know that area, I will always put aloe vera on it, and that stops rashes, because see saving rashes down there. They're so bad. I used to really suffer with them when I was young, before I discovered aloe vera. Aloe vera is God. Yeah, they're so sore, and when your pants and bikinis on holiday, I just don't shave. When I go on holiday, I get a wax, which is honestly the worst pain ever. Oh my word, there is nothing worse than a Hollywood wax. but it does last and it's really good. I could never shave on holiday. If I shave down there, it's like 2 seconds, I'm getting dried and I can already see it growing back. Same as my armpits, they grow at lightning speed. How did you learn who your true friends are? So I feel like this is something that literally takes years, and like as you get older you will notice like friends disappear out your life and new friends come into your life, which is I'd say I'm experiencing right now. Like, I have met so many people this year that I did not expect to meet and I did not expect to love so much, and like they are just becoming like my best friends and I love them so much. I'd say it's something that's a really long process, but I would say the things that make a true friend are being there for you, whether that's through happy times or sad times, being really supportive of you, like being your biggest fan, like just being so genuinely happy for any like achievement, accomplishment you have, people who can't see you being happy, that's weird. Being loyal, being honest. Yeah, sometimes it's hard, like for example my friend Lauren, I love her and I know she'll always be there for me, but we can't see each other that much because she has a baby. So things like that, like life does get busier and things change, circumstances change, so you might not be able to see people who you consider a true friend as often as you'd like, but as long as they still have those qualities of a true friend, that's how you know they're a true friend. Does that make sense? Oh my word, my Siri's been listening to me. No Siri, I'm not talking to you. How do you balance seeing your boyfriend, your friends and alone time? Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling. I am struggling. I have been with my friends every single weekend since lockdown got lifted. Like every weekend we're out. I've not had a sober weekend since lockdown, since restrictions. It's really needed. I've been just going full force ahead seeing all my friends because I'm like, life is so fucking. But it's kind of bad because maybe I'm not making enough time for Callum, which is a conversation we've had, and I'm really, do you know what, good for Callum saying I don't make a lot of time for him anymore. Good for you, strong independent man, I love to see it. For example, I've just said next weekend I'm just staying in with Cal, we're spending our whole weekend together, like that's what I'm going to do, that's my priority. See if you want to see these people enough and you want to make time for them, you will. Sometimes it might be a bit awkward and you have to say no to someone and say yes to someone else, and sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm not giving you enough time, but you can always make up for it. Like that is what I'm doing.
I am trying. God knows I'm trying.
Okay, now we're on to advice and dilemmas. How to say no to plans without feeling guilty. Never force yourself to do something you don't want to do. Say all your friends are like going to like a rave and you don't really like raves, you're not into that type of music. Don't force yourself to go if you genuinely don't want to. Like, you should be able to say, do you know what guys, this isn't really my cup of tea, I'm not feeling up to it, I'm just going to leave it. You should be able to do that and not feel guilty. Your friends might be like, oh, what? Like, just because they want you there, they're not doing it because they think you're a horrible person. It's just because they wanted your company. And if you wake up one day and say you've been so excited all week, but you wake up on Saturday morning and you think, oh, I'm not feeling up to this at all, like I'm not feeling myself, I think all I need is like a pamper night and alone, or a night in with your boyfriend. Again, you should be able to cancel those plans and it's absolutely fine. What I would say though, like again, not a professional, if you're like cancelling plans with your friends, like nights out and stuff, try and make up for it by saying like, do you want to see me through the week and we can grab a coffee, or do you want to see me and we can go to Nando's, or do you want to come over and hang out at my house for a bit, so that you're still making effort with them. But if you're not up to like these big crazy plans sometimes, that's fine, but just show your friends in other ways that you do want to see them and you do want to make time for them. I think that's quite a good answer. Right, next one. Boyfriend is disrespecting my boundaries of not liking other girls' pictures. He's done it again after swearing not to. I'm very lucky, like since me and Callum started going out 6 years ago, Callum doesn't like other girls' pictures. Like he likes girls that like we're friends with or like he's friends with, like, and that's absolutely fine. Like, I do the exact same. So I don't truly know what that feels like. But say for example, if I went on Instagram and I seen Callum liking like these random girls' pictures, like maybe like sexy pictures or like suggestive pictures, oh my lord, I would have a big fat issue with that. And if I brought it up to him and he was like, okay, I won't do it anymore, that's kind of like, right, he sees it's an issue, he understands it, that's maybe wrong and that's upsetting you. And if he'd then done it again after saying that, I think I'd be like, are the clogs turning up here, or no? I don't think that's acceptable in my eyes. I don't know if it's like a dumpable offence, but yeah, I would not be happy at all. I'd just say to him, knock knock, is anybody home? We've had that conversation and cut it out, or else you're gonna be in big trouble, Sonny Jim. This is sad. Advice for someone struggling to make new friends. So I understand how this can be a struggle to some people. Like, really, luckily in my like later years, I'm acting like I'm like 105, but since I went to secondary school and then on, I've never struggled to make friends. Like, and I think that's because I've always had a very secure, like, sturdy friend group. So like, I'm like, oh, it's easy to make new ones. Like, I don't have pressure to find new ones, and I think that would make it a wee bit harder. But what I would say for someone struggling to make new friends, like, it's not so easy. Like, you're not really going to go out to a bar alone unless you're this super confident person and start meeting people. So maybe what you could do is, like, on Instagram, like, follow some girls that you think are like your vibe and they seem nice, they seem cool, like their pictures, comment on their pictures, and then just send them a wee DM. Like, there's so many girls on Instagram that I could be like, oh, I really like them, and I could consider them a friend, and I could meet up and have a coffee or have dinner or have drinks with them, and I don't actually know them, but because you do the wee things like liking each other's pictures, you support them, you send a wee message. Like, say you see someone's story, right, you've been following this girl and you think, oh my god, she's so my vibe, and you see a wee story of her, like, at this cool bar you've always wanted to go to. You could reply and be like, oh my god, always wanted to go here, how was it? If you're ever going back, I'll definitely tag along. Like, put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to seem too keen or too enthusiastic. Like, that's what you want in a friend. You want someone who wants to see you all the time and is up for adventures. Like, just honestly put yourself out there. It's the same as if you wanted to find like a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You need to put yourself out there. So that's what I would say is an easy route to go down, because you're not face to face. It's not like awkward, it's not embarrassing. You're literally just typing on a phone. That's what I would do personally. I hope you do it. Hope it goes well. Let me know. What to do when he says he's not happy with himself and needs time to think, but you're too scared to let go in case he doesn't come back. That is obviously so sad. Like, I know it's a scary thought, thinking, oh my god, if we split up now, what if we don't get back together? That is obviously a petrifying thought, and that's kind of what me and Callum went through recently. But if someone is saying to you, I am not happy, like, I need time, I think you need to respect that. And as difficult as it is, I think you need to go ahead with it, because see, if you don't, in turn it's just going to make you both unhappy. Like, I feel like you can't make someone else happy if you're not happy with yourself. If you're scared that he's not going to come back, if he doesn't come back, worst case scenario, he doesn't come back, it just wasn't meant to be. And why would you want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you? That sounds harsh and that's tough love, but it is facts. If he's not going to come back to you, he doesn't deserve you deserve better, and there's so many other people in the world who will come back to you and who will be with you. So I think, as scary as it is, you need to rip the band-aid off, you need to go with it. Regardless of the outcome, you'll be happier, because you won't be worrying like, oh no, like, is this relationship like a ticking time bomb? Is he just going to break up with me because you know he's not happy? You're going to feel better in the long run regardless of what happens. So I know it's scary, but sometimes life is scary. Sometimes you need a wee push, and it'll all work out. What's meant to be will be. Everything happens for a reason. Two of my favourite quotes. Feel like the spark has fizzled out with me and my boyfriend, but I don't want to be alone. You're preaching to the choir, sister. Me and Callum, again, have just been through this, and that was literally me. Like, I knew that things had fizzled out, and I'm sure Callum did as well, but we just held on to it because we're like, we don't want to be single. But honestly, that time apart is the best thing that could have happened to us. Like, it gave us time to miss each other, it gave us time to like get, like, what's that word? We got like motivated to fix it, and when we got back together, like, we knew truly how we both feel about each other, and we were able to make that spark happen again. I'm not saying you need to take a break, you need to break up, but I think, like, if you both know it's fizzling out, or if even one of you know it's fizzling out, the first thing you need to do is be honest, and then you can push past that. So don't be scared of being alone, because also, unless you're a twin, you come out the womb alone, so you're fine being alone. Don't be scared of being alone. I know you don't want to be alone, and neither did I, but regardless, you will be fine. But I think the first thing you can do is be like, look, have an honest conversation. Like, look, I think things have really fizzled out, see what he thinks about it, and make a plan of action. And if it's meant to be, it'll be. How many times am I going to say that? I'm back with my ex, but my friends don't like him and don't support it at all. It feels shit. Right, right, awkward one, but I know what it's like to be that friend. Like, for example, going back a few years, one of my bestest friends was in a relationship with a boy who I just wasn't the biggest fan of. And guys, it takes quite a lot for me to be a bit wary on someone, but through stories I've heard, through things I've witnessed, I just thought, he's not right for her. Sorry, I'm so pale. I can't handle it. I feel like the lighting's going to be really bad in this video. Sorry guys, if it is. But yeah, through things that I'd witnessed, through stories that I'd heard, through things that she told me, I just thought, but at the end of the day, it's her decision, not mine. And as much as I might have my opinions, my worries, my concerns, I need to suck it up and be like, do you know what? If she wants to be with him, that's her choice. I need to be here for her through the good, through the good and through the bad, and that's just that. And in the long run, it didn't end up working out, and I was right. Not for her, about him. I don't mean like told you so. I mean for him, knew it. Seen it from a mile away. But yeah, you need to just be there. So your friends, as much as they are just looking out for you, and I'm sure they have the best intentions, they're going to need to suck it up. And if they've not realised that themselves, you need to say to them, look, I appreciate your concerns, I appreciate your advice. It's always good to have advice and opinions from your friends, but this is what I've chosen to do, and if you're my real friends, you're going to need to stick by me. Bish bash bosh, that's what you say to them. Oh, DPD, please have a parcel for me. No. How to deal with friends who put no effort in? Try to see them more or let them go. I feel you, sis. The first thing you should do is try to see them more. Like, you've nothing to lose, nothing to gain. No, wait, plenty to gain, nothing to lose. If they're your friends, you put all your effort in, like, why wouldn't you? So definitely try to see them more, try and make more plans, text them more. I know it is draining when you're making all the effort and you're not getting it back 100%, but you know what, give it one last hurrah. If it doesn't work, if you're not getting any further forward, you still feel the same, I wouldn't say let them go, like cut them off. Like, just kind of accept, you know what, we're maybe not as close as I thought we were, like things are different. Genuinely things change the older you get, which sounds crazy, and when I was younger I'd have thought, how's that work? But it just does for no good reason. I wouldn't say let them go, I'd just accept that you're not going to see them as much as you'd like to, but you'll probably still see them for like the bigger events or bigger occasions, and just leave it at that. There's no point arguing about it, there's no point getting upset. Like, sometimes it's just accepting that things do change. As sad as that is, it's just part of life. I sound like my mum, but it's part of life. So don't cut them off. Definitely give it a go first. If it's not changing, you're not feeling any happier, just throw your hands up, admit defeat, and say, when I see them, I see them. It'll still be such a nice time. And yeah, it's kind of sad, but you don't need to cut them off. You don't need to shun them away like that. You've had your chance, missus. We aren't friends anymore. You can just say, it'll be fewer memories, but they'll still be nice. You know. Would you still be friends with a girl? Oh, taxi. Would you still be friends with a girl who told lies to try and split you and your boyfriend up? No. Sorry, no, I don't even want any more detail. No, 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 no. Lying, oh, biggest pet peeve. Liars, no, I do not have time. And if you try to split you and your boyfriend up, nah. No, 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 I'm sorry, missy. Missy, no, Would you forgive or take back a cheat? Personally, no, I don't think so. I've been in a situation before where we weren't like proper boyfriend and girlfriend, so I can't say like there was any cheating, but there was like a lot of not being so loyal or sticking to your word, and it just makes you feel shit. People can change, people can genuinely slip up, and they can learn from their mistakes, and people have successful relationships after they've been cheating, etc. But me personally, I'm the type of person who would not be able to forget about it. I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago, but see, if you cheat on me, darn tootin', I'll be bringing that to the grave. I don't think it's something I could do, but it just depends on your personality, it depends on your situation. Yeah. Some people can learn, I get that, but wouldn't be me. I always bicker with my boyfriend over pointless things. Advice on how to stop. I'd say this is so normal, especially when you've been with them for quite some time, or if you're around them a lot. Like, you bicker with anyone. Like me and my mum bicker like till the cats come home. Is that a saying? I'm not sure. I've been there as well. There's been multiple phases of mine and Callum's relationships where we just bicker all the time, but I do try, like now, I always try and like just put a sock in it. Like, say he does something that annoys me, I think in my head quickly, is this worth having a big argument over? No. If it is this case of him, Callum always forgets masks. I'm like, we've been in this pandemic for quite a while now. If you're going to a restaurant in Scotland, you still need to bring a mask, and he was always like, oh, did you bring a mask? I forgot a mask. I'm like, oh, there's a surprise. But instead of me arguing with him and just being like, roll my eyes and be like, right, let's go get a mask, let's walk back to the car, pick out a mask from my car, or if it's in his car, there's no chance you're finding a mask, so we need to ask for one. But stuff like that, that's the type of thing that gets under my skin, and I could easily be like,
Why do you always forget masks?
but instead I'm just like, okay, let's go get one. But it's just like quickly analysing it before it gets out of hand, being like, is this worth an argument? No, probably not. Let's just brush it off. When to call it quits with the guy. One rule applies to all. No matter what the scenario is, no matter what the story is, see if you're not having fun anymore, see ya. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. Me and Nadine always say a relationship should only bring positives to your life. Like, yeah, there's gonna be struggles. I'm not saying like that the person you're in a relationship should do nothing but amazing things and paint rainbows every day, but what a relationship is supposed to do is to add to your life. It shouldn't be something that suddenly makes things really, really difficult. It gives you like challenges, you have someone to answer to all the time. Those kind of negative things, I think, that's not what you're here for. Be with someone who makes you happy. That is literally it. Yes, there'll be hard times, there'll be hurdles, life throws hurdles in your way, but you'll be able to get over them together if it's meant to be, because you are a team and a teamwork makes the dream work. If it stops getting fun and you feel more unhappy than you do happy, push on the curb, girlies. And this is the last one. I feel like this has been quite short. But anyway, how to get over the fear of relationships after my last one. Do not tarnish everyone with the same brush. That's like saying, like, say you went on holiday and you had a shit time. The weather was so shit, the food was rubbish, you were bored. That's like coming home and going, I'm never going on holiday again. That would be silly. Don't let one bad experience put you off for life. And as the saying goes, you need to kiss a lot of frogs to get your prince to kiss your prince. Something of that sort. That is it. You're going to meet people who are stinky, and I don't mean smelly. You're going to meet some bad eggs out there, some rotten eggs, but don't let that put you off, because there's so many good people in the world. So although your last relationship might have been absolute pants, it might have been a shit show, it might have had you starving for days, crying, it might have had you going through all the toilet rolls in your house with your tears, your next one could be so different. Take the risk or lose the chance. There's another great quote. I would say the person that I was seeing before Callum gave me a bit of the fear, but imagine I didn't take that risk. Who would I be with right now? Or what if I was still single right now? Instead, I've been in a lovely 6-year relationship. So do not let someone put you off for life. No, 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 no. Oh, thank God that's us at the end, because what is this lighting all about? I'm actually scared to watch this back. Anyway, thank you so much for joining, my girlies, my boysies, my anyone who is here. I love you all, my chicken nuggets, so much. I feel like this was really short. I probably didn't write down enough, but you know what that means. There's girly chat, free panel in the card. Thanks so much for everyone who asked questions or sent your dilemmas. I hope this answered some. I hope this was not a waste of your time. Thank you so much as always for watching. I can't wait to see you next time. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to ring that ding 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 dong bell. Love yous. Mwah.